Koine, and welcome. Today we are in John chapter 3, looking at verse 19, which I believe is our second to last, or perhaps third to last verse of this paragraph. So we're almost done. We're almost done with that exceedingly long reading that we have to do after the end of each video. Here is our text, and this is the rubric, which I almost forgot about everything that we're looking for as we go through. Let's go ahead and get started. Haute de estin he crisis hoti tu fus eleluthen eiston cosmon kai ega pesan hoi anthropoi malon to skotos e to phos engar auton ponera ta erga. There we go. We have a demonstrative right there, which we don't care about. De is a coordinating conjunction, and or the weak form of but. Estin, that's what we're looking for. We have seen this many times before. I'm not going to bother parsing it. We know it is third person. Pretty easy. Is how it is translated. So we want to find our subject. As we go back to the beginning, aute is a perfect fit for that. We got that eta right there, which tells us nominative, singular, masculine. This and this, but this is he crisis. He is clearly nominative, singular, feminine with this third declension, feminine noun. The UDG. Alright, and hoti, just as before, this could mean either that, or because we need to take a look at the rest of the clause to tell which one of those two makes the most sense. To, so that we have a neuter word right there, to phos. This could either be accusative or nominative singular. So we take a look at our verb, which is eleluthen. Epsilon nu is our personal ending right there. This comes from, trying to think here, luo, luso, elusa. So we have augmenting vowel right there. I think theta. Yes. No, this is not luo. This is erkomai, eleosamai, elelutha. Okay, so this is aorist. I want to say elelutha. Yeah, that looks right. So third person, singular, aorist, active in form, and it is indicative. Means to come from erkomai. So we could have the judgment, that the judgment came, but then what would phos be doing there? Eleluthen doesn't want a direct object, so it doesn't make sense for there to be an accusative. So nominative for phos makes the most sense. That's how I'm going to treat it. So nominative, singular, neuter. The light came. Eiston cosmon. So we get a prepositional phrase right here. Kai could be continuing that, but ega pesan is not a noun, so a prepositional phrase has to end right there. Plus accusative, singular and masculine. Accusative of place to which, to, oops, the with an O again, oops, world. And ega pesan, we've seen this one before. Alpha nu right there. The eta at the front, sigma and the eta right there tell us this is going to be a brain failure. Yes, third person, gosh, plural, aorist, active, indicative. So now we want to find a plural subject, which we have right here with hoi anthropoi. Omicron iota as our ending there. We don't need to parse it again. The men loved or adored. Malon to skotos. Malon here is an interesting word. I think it always caused me some grumpiness back when we were reading Homer. And who else did we read? I don't remember whether or not it appeared in Medea, but anyway. So this one looks very similar to intend to, plan to, except for the Omicron nu right there. This one actually means rather. Rather, to skotos. So this one, I don't remember what declension it is, but it is an accusative to. So it would probably a third. Yeah, it would have to be a third because that's sigma right there. So accusative, singular, neuter is the direct object of loved. The darkness. A. So malon plus A is rather than liked the darkness, rather than to phos, exactly as we saw it right there, except in this case it is also accusative. We don't need that. See? Singular and neuter. The light. So then as we come back to hoti, which we never translated. Oops. So, this is the judgment. Because the light came into the world, and the men loved darkness rather than light. Or, and this is the judgment, that the light came into the world, and the men loved darkness rather than light. So I'm going to say that that, in this case, is probably better. But it could be either, so I'll include because down here. Circle that, though. Moving on. Now that we've corrected that thing that we missed earlier. Ein gar. Ein is from eimi. This is a third person singular imperfect. Active and indicative. For was. Auton. Omega nu right there, so that's genitive plural. And this is going to be pointing back to anthropoi. So it has to be masculine. There. Ponera ta erga. So these three words together, they could either be nominative plural neuter or accusative plural neuter. However, since we don't have any nominative already before them, nominative makes the most sense. So we would say, for evil was the deeds, or evil were the deeds. Note that we've got the singular here again, even though we've got plural with a neuter. That happens all the time. So nominative, plural, neuter, and one of them is going to be the predicate. Or works. And there we go. Now we take a look at this in its own context and see how, if our translation actually makes any sense. And this is the judgment, that the light came into the world, and the men loved or adored rather the darkness than the light. For their, it's all mangled up here in Greek. So, for their, the deeds was evil. For their deeds were evil. So yeah, it makes sense in its own right, except that English doesn't quite work the way that Greek does right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this from verse 1. But there was man of the Pharisees, Nicodemus, named to him, of rulers of the Jews. This man came toward him at night, and he said to him, Rabbi, we know that from God you have come a teacher, for no one is able to do these the signs which you yourself do, unless the God is with him. Jesus answered and said to him, Amen, amen, I say to you, unless someone has been born from above, he is not able to see the kingdom of the God. Then Nicodemus says to him, How is a man able to be born, being old? Surely he is not able to enter into the womb of his mother a second time and to be born. Jesus answered, Amen, amen, I say to you, unless someone has been born from water and the Spirit, he is not able to come into the kingdom of the God. The having been born from the flesh is flesh, and the having been born of the Spirit is spirit. Don't wonder that I said to you, it is necessary for you all to be born, to have been born from above. The Spirit blows where it wishes, and the sound of it you hear, but do not know from where it comes and where it goes. Thus is everyone having been born from the Spirit. Nicodemus answered and said to him, How are these able to happen? Answered Jesus and said to him, You are the master of the Israel, and these you do not know? Amen, amen, I say to you, what we know we say, and what we have seen we witness to. And the witness, ending preposition at the end, clause, that just hurts. Why do I keep doing that? And the witness is you do not receive. If I said the earthly things to you, and you do not believe, how, if I said to you the heavenly, will you believe? And no one has ascended and gone up into the heaven, if not the having come down from heaven, the Son of the Man. And just as Moses raised up the serpent in the wilderness, thus it is necessary for the Son of the Man to be raised, in order that everyone believing in him may have life eternal. For thus loved the God the world, with the result that the Son, the only begotten, he gave, in order that everyone believing in him will not die, but may have life eternal. For the God did not send the Son into the world in order that he might judge the world, but in order that the world may be saved through him. The believing in him are not judged, but the not believing have already been judged, because they have not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the judgment, that the light came into the world, and the men adored rather the darkness than the light, for their works was evil. We're evil, gosh. So weird that Greek can do that. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I hope taking a look at this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you have a very good day, and that your English grammar is not as horrible as mine. Farewell. Hey, not asleep yet? That's okay. I've got tons of other videos that are equally sleep-inducing. Check them out. Alternatively, you could take a look at this video over here.